Hey guys, this is Tyler here. I want to briefly discuss a situation or topic that I really emphasize students of mine to consider. A lot of people don't take this kind of seriously, and that's studying abroad in a foreign country. Not just studying abroad, but doing a full degree abroad. It's incredible how many younger people in the US they may consider studying abroad for a semester a year, but they don't think of just going a full path, just doing a full curriculum, undergraduate or graduate degree. And it's incredible the amount of money that can be saved if someone goes this route. We see what the tuition rates have done in the past 10 to 25 years in the US, and it is insane. When you look at how much rates have increased, more or less at least double in the past 15 years or 20 years. It's unaffordable for most people, and we have college loans and whatnot. Just a disclaimer, my undergraduate tuition was funded by family, and my graduate tuition I was on the hook for, and I still have some loans from that. A lot of these younger people, 18, 19-year-olds, they take on this huge debt liability, this massive student loan burden, whether it be in the form of private or federal loans. Some of them get grants, but the lion's share of these people, these students, are getting loans. They can be in the tune of $10,000, $100,000, $300,000. The amounts just go insane here in the US. Probably similar in Canada, not as much. This is why I emphasize to students, look at studying abroad. Look at not just studying abroad, look at doing a full degree abroad. We can look right now at the economy in the US, and the whole status quo is completely screwed up. A lot of people, especially middle class people, their economics just one check away from being homeless. That's why one of the biggest things that you can look at is go abroad and study. Go to Asia, Europe, Latin America, Middle East. I mean, there's so many places you could go. For sure, if you are going into an area like medicine or a specialized area, law, where you need certain certifications and licenses that can only be done through the US, yeah, makes sense. Just do it here. That's a small fraction of overall students, generally speaking, in most states. And people just waste so much money and so much time and energy on degree or just the effort to get that degree, and then they end up doing something that's not at all relevant to their field. They are burdened by debt for years and years to come. I look at my brother. He actually studied in Russia. He got his master's degree at a very prestigious Russian university that would have costed quite a bit more than here stateside. The same place would have been like 3 or 4 times the cost per year. And he got his master's in bioinformatics. And he paid for it completely in cash, out of pocket. He didn't get any aid, any kind of scholarship, any kind of assistance from anyone or any U.S. entity. He was completely on his own. Like, students too could actually get a higher quality education in certain programs in said country. Another big benefit is language. Foreign language is often a barrier that a lot of my students will mention. How do I do a program in German? How do I do a program in Spanish and Chinese and Russian, whatever? Firstly, a lot of programs will have English language programs. You could do your full course studies in that specific language. Now, if you still can't do that, if the program's not offered in that language, you will be able to also learn a second language at the same time while doing your coursework. I had a friend actually from Algeria, or Libya of all places, when I lived in Russia many years ago. He went to St. Petersburg State University in Russia. He actually became very fluent in Russian. He was I think about a year younger than me. At the time, he was like 25, and he was super fluid in Russian language. Yeah, the first year and a half or two, I think he told me he had to get to a certain level before he could take his, believe it was a master's program he was in, before he could take this graduate program in Russian. And then when he started, I mean, he was getting both a very good technical engineering program, and then he was also improving his language skills, and his Russian was awesome. I mean, you never guessed that he was a non-native speaker. It was just remarkable. I think he had been living there when I met him for about 4 years, considerable amount of time, and that was someone that I always remember. But there's awesome programs in these countries where you can do the same program you do stateside, pay a lot less. And then there's other aspects to consider. You may have a much better chance going into the job market in said country, much less saturation than, say, here stateside, because saturation is such a problem in so many fields in the US. There's this whole myth, this misconception that there's a huge demand in certain areas of the job marketplace stateside. In many fields, that is complete rubbish. That is mainstream propaganda. That it's incorrect. If you go and examine the data better, it's not actually like that. There's actually too many people in many fields, and just more and more people each year. That's actually another whole different topic on the US being oversaturated with people relative to jobs. No, you could go do a program and then have been in that country for a long time, and then potentially you could start a career in that country, get a lot further ahead quicker than stateside, maybe even being able to work in said career without having to take this 180 and go into something completely different because you can't get a professional job stateside once you graduate. You could go into that program and then actually be working in your field. You're building contacts and developing your professional life there, and personal life, personal freedoms and whatnot can be considerably higher. As we can see from Andrew Henderson, well-known YouTuber of Nomad Capitalist, he does a freedom index, world freedom index, and each year the US continues to drop. It's not even in the top 10 or 20. It's like somewhere around 40th. Some people just prefer being in a different country. I myself prefer living in other countries. For much of it initially was for personal reasons. It's going to be a lot easier. Don't let people fool you. People will tell you, especially older people, boomers, older Gen Xers, oh, just save whatever amount of money, save like some ridiculous amount of money, and then you can go and move. Nah, that might sound good on paper. I'd argue if you're a talented and skilled person, you're better off going somewhere in your younger years. Even if you don't have a lot of money to your name, you can develop yourself in that place, economy. You can also potentially, if you're wanting to get married or go like a family route, like you're gonna have a lot easier time being younger than being older. All of this stuff is gonna be easier. Yeah, you're not going to have as much in savings, but it's actually more practical, in my opinion, for people to do this younger. There's so much to be said in international path with getting your degree. Unfortunately, a lot of these programs, they're not well publicized. You can find them online, but like when you look at a lot of the third-party agencies, they don't market just doing a full-fledged undergraduate or graduate program very much. So you really have to look into the university, you have to look into the country and do a lot of the legwork on your own. There's considerable number of options out there that will take foreign students, that will give you a good tuition rate, and then you can get your student visa and then possibly even get a full-on residency visa once you finish, or even during the time that you're a student, you could potentially start working in said country. So give me your feedback, guys, and thank you.